Morning folks, it is absolutely stunning out here. Sorry I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've been bad fettle, as they will call it round here. Not been so well at all. I've had flu and then bronchitis on the back of that, so I've been absolutely wiped out for the past fortnight. So this is the first chance I've had to get out. I'm pleased I've got rid of it, to be honest, because conditions this past week, which I'm sure you'll all know if you're in the UK, we're in the middle of a cold snap, and it is just every morning's just been fog or a hoar frost or just generally nice settled conditions, and that's what we've got today. I was actually down here yesterday, but I was on the clock a little bit because I had a workshop at 11:30, and I couldn't really get going, to be honest. But I wanted to come back here because down here at Manistee, at the bottom of Borrowdale, when you get conditions like this, like hoarfrost sort of conditions, this is a great spot to be because it's quite exposed and it stays in shade for a lot of the day. So you know, that hoarfrost on the trees, it retains it quite well, doesn't sort of melt. Although at the minute the temperature's so cold that I don't think anything's going to be melting in a hurry anyway. The shot I've got set up, I'll just walk you over there now. Just make sure I get over that tree. This is a shot that I took a few years ago by chance almost. I shot that's a single frame and then ended up hacking it as a panoramic crop, and that was actually taken in the autumn. We had a hoarfrost then, but we had the autumn colour on the trees. But ever since then, I've always regretted not shooting it as an actual panoramic, because as I said, the one I took years ago, I can just about get away with it as a big print, but I'd rather have the megapixels. So I'll walk you over here anyway, and we'll talk you through this first shot. Now, this first shot, I'm just waiting for the first light of the day to start hitting Castle Crag in the distance there. I'm probably a little bit early, to be honest. I was actually planning to shoot the bigger view down towards Skiddaw, but there was a few other photographers down at the spot that I wanted to shoot, so I thought I'd just leave that. But I really sort of came for this shot in particular anyway. So I'm just going to have to wait it out a little while, because I don't think it's going to be any light on the top of Castle Crag for another at least 25 minutes, half an hour. But I'll talk you through the setup of this shot anyway. I'm at about 70mm, and this is going to be a bit of a tricky one to put together, I think, because there's going to be depth of field issues that I'm probably going to have to overcome with a bit of focus stacking. But I'm going to shoot this as a panorama, 70mm, to get that nice bit of compression towards Castle Crag in the distance there. It's probably going to end up being about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 frames across, something like that. And then it'll be a fairly severe crop, I would imagine, in post, if it's anything like the previous shot that I took. Probably like a 3:1, 4:1 crop almost. So I may actually have to shoot quite a few frames to the left just to give me a bit of coverage when I end up doing the final crop. But in terms of the conditions, I mean, we've got this beautiful hoarfrost in the middle distance here. My hope is that when the light comes out, we're going to get this nice contrast of warm and cool tones. So we've got warmer tones in the grasses here that are a bit more sheltered. It then opens out into the hoarfrost on the field here, and then in the distance, hopefully when we get that first light on Castle Crag, we'll get a nice bit of warmth again in the shot. So yeah, just going to wait it out here, and then when this light pops out, we'll get the shot. shot that I've got set up, I've shot this little stand of trees before, actually in autumn a few years ago, when we had a particularly nice hoarfrost that was combined with the autumn colour. Now obviously we haven't got the autumn colour today because we're past that, but everything is just this gorgeous sheen of white. Now this stand of trees, I think, is better off shot without any light hitting it. We've got a nice dark background against it, and because we've got that hoarfrost, the white on the trees is really standing out. And then what I've tried to do here is just incorporate this little bit of the water that isn't frozen as a nice little lead in towards the stand of trees. And then we've got these lovely ice patterns around the shoreline here that have frozen over. So yeah, nice little one to get started with this. I'm at 70mm on the 24-200 f8, and yeah, here's the shot. Oh, I've been having a bit of a mare here. The temperature's so cold, it's just frozen up all my video equipment. The drone's been struggling, the Osmo Pocket's been struggling. Fortunately, I brought this DJI action camera. That was freezing as well, but fortunately it's kicked back into gear. This shot, I've walked past it 100 times in the past, and I've never really bothered with it, but this morning, because of the way the light's falling, and we've obviously got this hoarfrost, it's just absolutely transformed this little scene. So this is just going to be a quick one. I'm at about 60mm on the 24-200, and I'm just bracketing this exposure because it's very bright, and we're just getting those lovely little highlights on the hoarfrost in the grasses in the middle of the shot. I'm going to probably crop this to maybe a 16:9 sort of frame. I'm just really concentrating on the bases of the trees here, the bottom of the trunks, and just trying to exclude the sky as much as possible. But yeah, this is really nice. Right folks, I'm going to leave this one here because I think if I stay out here any longer I'm going to turn into an icicle. It's absolutely Baltic. It was about -7 when I set off this morning, and even at 10:30 now I don't think it's much above freezing, so probably a good idea to get home and get warm and have a coffee. I don't really see me shooting any more stuff today. It's gone very blue skyy, and the light's very harsh at the minute, and because this cold weather's been locked in for so many days now, all the moisture's getting sucked out. It's a very dry cold at the minute, and I don't really think there's much chance of fog either, unless you get a bit of freezing fog first thing, but didn't have any of that today. But I certainly can't complain because the conditions have absolutely they have been absolutely stunning. Just a quick one on my calendar. I do have a small handful left. I won't be putting another order in now, so if you do want to grab a calendar before the Christmas rush, I suggest you put an order in now, because the way things are with postal strikes at the minute, it's a bit of a nightmare getting things out, as I'm sure you're aware. So I do have a few left. I'll put a link in the description for that. But right now, yeah, I'm going to go and get warm. So take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.